Hello, I warmly welcome you to the show. And today there is one amazing topic we are going to discuss. That's what's our worth? How valuable are we to ourselves and to others?
Hello, welcome to House Chat Podcast.
House Chat Podcast.
My name is Asida, and to lead us in this discussion is Reverend Solomon Ekow Mpong. He's the head pastor of Believers Worldwide Ministry. Okay, so please do well to subscribe if you are watching on YouTube, okay, and as well share with others, let them know of this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. You can also leave your comment in the comment section, or if you have any questions, you can ask. All right, so let's join the discussion. Yeah, we are looking at what is our worth. What is our worth? So the question would be, how valuable are we to ourselves and to others? Okay, how valuable are we to ourselves and to others? So the question here is, there is this popular musician. She's about to have a concert, and people are complaining the ticket is too high. So everybody is like, oh, you should know your audience and those who love your music. But the truth of the matter is, this musician has built a certain niche for herself, to a point that now in her fans, she has those who can pay a lot to come and watch her shows, and those who are in the middle and those who are at the bottom. And I think in the middle and at the bottom are complaining of her current price for a ticket that is too expensive. So that has been the argument. And in this argument, another argument came up that this lady has built a lot for herself to have come to this point that she can charge whatever amount she wants to charge. So people shouldn't be complaining that she's charging that amount. So now the question is, okay, if we agree with this point of argument that she's built or she has added enough value to herself, so she deserves whatever amount she charges, then is there any lessons out of it? Is there lessons out of it that we can learn, so that though people might complain about, this amount or that amount, or it might not even be you being a musician, but any field that we find ourselves, what can we do so that people can confidently say that we deserve whatever respect, whatever price that we place on ourselves? So that will be the whole idea of this podcast. Okay, so I would like to go. If you have any initial comment on this.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that, and I think and believe that in life, everything is by choice. Life is a choice. So God will say in Jeremiah chapter 13:19 that I set before you today life and death. Make a choice. So life is a choice. And when it comes to marketing oneself, that principle of choice also plays major role there.
Okay.
It's like bottled water. You know, when I was preparing for this interview, I bought a bottled water, which costs me 2 cedi 50 Swiss. But the same bottled water, when you go into a hotel, some places they are selling it 50 cedis.
Okay.
Other places that they are selling it 100 cedis. The same bottle of water. It all has to do like where you find the water and where you are buying it.
Okay.
So I think that in life it's all about choice. So we're talking about this young lady's issue. Anytime that you put value on yourself, you attract certain kinds of people or certain kind of audience.
Okay.
So let me use this one as an example. I remember before I began my ministry, or because as I came into ministry, when I was praying and the Spirit of God ministered to me that ministry is like running a food joint.
Okay.
You can decide to do a local choba to attract certain kinds of customers. Or you can run a restaurant with an air conditioning room to also attract certain kinds of customers.
Okay.
In all these things, there are certain prices that you have to pay. If it's a restaurant that is with air conditioning, it means that you have to put in a lot of money. You have to decorate the place. You have to make the place welcoming and all that.
Okay.
If it's a local choba, like the setup is also different, and the food prices also runs differently.
Okay.
So a local choba, probably when you're buying a food, where the food may cost maybe 50 cedis, the same food when you go to an air conditioned restaurant, it may cost like 150 cedis. So it's more of a choice. But what I want to say is that whatever area that you want to go into, there is a price to pay.
Okay. Okay.
And the price is what makes the difference.
All right. Okay.
The price is what makes the difference.
Okay. So now,
so that would be my initial.
All right. All right. I think, yeah. So I wanted to zero in on the price and ask this question.
Okay.
How can one prioritize investing, like in terms of the price, investing in himself or herself, so that and maybe we find out the steps that can be taken to improve our skills, our knowledge, and our personal development. So when we say price, what does it take? Okay, in terms of the investment in oneself, developing the skills and the knowledge and personal development, how is that done?
Okay, so I will go straight to talk about personal development.
Okay.
And personal development is the key for success.
All right.
And you have to understand that success is not a destination.
Okay.
But it is making a continuous progress.
All right.
Yes, it's a process of growth. You know, Bible says something in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16 that, for if I preach the gospel, I have nothing to boast of.
Okay.
For necessity is laid upon me. Yes, woe is me if I do not preach the gospel.
Okay.
To develop yourself, you have to place a necessity upon yourself.
Okay.
You must. It's a personal decision that you have to make.
Okay.
That I want to develop myself.
All right.
To become a better person. Yes. Now, when we talk about personal development, you have to understand that man is three in nature. But for the purpose of our discussion, I will zero into only one. But I want to just give a little information about the two. And the one is your spirit man. The man is a spirit. He has a soul and dwells in the body.
Okay.
And the spirit man is what communicates with the spirit world. So when it comes to Christianity, somebody gives his life to Christ, to his spirit. I've accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and personal Savior. That is when your spirit man is being developed to allow God to have influence in what happens within you. Other people rather give their spirit to other things. That's why Other group of people are Buddhist. Others are traditional worshippers, and natural. Others are maybe Muslims. So what I'm saying is that is the spirit, and like at every point in time, every man is hungry to, like satisfy that spirit.
Okay.
That is why somebody is not a Christian, he's a Buddhist, or he's something else.
Okay.
Now, having said that, I'll talk about the body. The body is a container that hosts a person or a human being.
Okay.
And that's what you see. The face, the skin, the legs, and all those things. And the body, the purpose of the body is to keep you moving, is to help you to do whatever you have to do. And there is a way to develop that body. But maybe what I can say about the body is like you have to frame you have to exercise to be in shape. You have to eat well. You have to brush your teeth. You have to, dress well. That is a body. It must carry you to wherever you are going. And for the purpose of our discussion, I want you to know that the soul development is most important thing when it comes to success in life or becoming somebody that is very valuable. Like to add value to yourself, you have to develop your soul. And the soul consists of your will, your intellect, and your emotions. Okay. Yes. You see, somebody said that you can be very skillful, but you have a strong will for something, you can easily succeed in it. Okay. And they say that where there is a will, there's always a way. Okay. So a man must be able to develop his willpower in a way that he's not motivated by emotions and circumstances. Okay. But as he's determined to do something, you have to groom yourself. Irrespective of what happens to you, you say that this is what I want to do, and I'm going for it. Okay. So it's an inner development. Then we talk about the intellect, and that's where the issue is. Okay. What you know place value on you, or what you know places determines the price you take. That is why, for instance, doctors are paid more than, say, nurses, or managers are paid more than laborers. It's all because somebody has developed his intellect. Okay. Yes, that is what adds value to a person.
This is House Chat Podcast.
Yes, the discussion is getting interesting, but let's take some time off and have some fun in the segment called Tell Me What. You are a fan of some ministers. Let me see if you can make them out who I'm talking about. Okay, so let's see. It's part of our show to have a little fun apart from what we learn. So let me quote this if you know whoever is talking. Okay, there is nothing wrong with assistants who are constantly learning from outside ministers. There is something very wrong with those associates never seem to learn from their own pastors. Can you guess who is talking?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Like God Mills.
Okay.
As for this one, I guess you can guess. I don't know. The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine.
Mike Murdoch.
Yeah. I knew very well that you get it there. So these are two quotes that is associated with what we are talking about now. And
this is House Chat Podcast.
Your personal development determines the quality of your life.
Okay.
Yes. And one thing I want you to know from today is Satan is interested in your mind,
Okay.
as well as God is also interested in your mind. So when I talk about intellect, I'm talking about your mind. Sometimes we refer to it as your heart. So that is the place that I want us to consider. Say, if you really want to do well in life, then you have to add value to yourself by studying.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about mind development. It is the use of the brain to determine your level in life. The mind is a mind development is the use of your brain to determine the level of your life.
Okay.
Now, how do we develop it? I don't know if you have a question to ask. There's anything to say.
Let's go on. Let's see how we're gonna develop it. So, like you mentioned, the quality of our life is based on the way we have developed our intellect or our mind. So we want to delve more into it so that we like, as we mentioned earlier, the main topic is adding value to ourselves. What is our wealth? Yeah, what is our wealth? Okay.
Before I talk about how to go about it, I want our audience to know that wherever you go, or wherever you get into, wherever you get into life, it is your own decisions that have brought you there.
Okay.
You as a human being, what can you do to add value to yourself?
Okay.
Your background doesn't matter. Who gave birth to you? Who is your father? Which nation you find yourself? But my Bible makes me understand that God is not a respecter of persons.
Okay.
And society can also attest to that there are people from poor background who have made it in life, and there are people from rich background who couldn't even make it. There are people who were well educated who didn't make it in life, but there are people who were not well educated who had made it.
Okay.
So when you look at Richard Branson, for instance, he's a school dropout, but he's a businessman and he's now a millionaire.
Okay.
We know Bill Gates to be someone who couldn't go through schools, as he also stopped his schooling in the university, and he also became rich. So, with the point we are going to look at, it has nothing to do with the normal school that we know. Like, say, I'm going to school, and although it plays a role, but it goes beyond that.
Okay.
Because you can be schooled, but not educated.
All right.
Schooling is not necessarily education. So that's what I want us to understand. So whoever is listening to us, you shouldn't think about, I must have my PhD, I must have my master's before. No. Because of life experiences, sometimes you didn't get somebody to educate you, somebody to take you to school. It wasn't the fault of yours. There's like the means to go to school was not there. Nobody was really interested in you when you were young. By virtue of where you were born, you didn't get the best of education. So you use what was available at that particular point in time. So I want to establish that fact that we are not talking about our normal education.
Okay.
Yes. But we are talking about what can I do to improve upon myself.
Okay.
If you look at ministry, where I find myself, there are medical doctors in ministry who are doing well. There are equally uneducated men of God who are also doing well. Smith Wigglesworth never went to school, but he affected the entire world. He impacted the entire world.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that it has nothing to do with your background, where you are coming from, who's your mother, and all that.
Now, the discussion is getting interesting, but don't worry. We'll continue, okay, in the next episode. And I'm so grateful that you have joined me up to this point. So do to follow us on all our social media, that's Facebook and Instagram, and as well subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, you can listen to the full episode on our podcast platforms. I will leave the link in the description box below. So thanks again for listening. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of
House Chat Podcast.
We hope you enjoyed the show.